So I suppose we are streaming now, so now it's the end of the practice session, and we're going to be moving on to qualifying. So, boys, it's Friday evening, and we're set up for an exciting evening of racing for Formula 4. It's a brand new sequel to the very popular championship we had almost around at the start of the year, I guess. But now it's back, and with more drivers than ever, we've got 30 entries in total right now. There's half an hour of qualifying to go. It was supposed to be 15 minutes, but not naming names, there was a little bit of a cock-up, and now we've got double the time. I think the drivers will need it, because there's 30 drivers on the grid, and everyone's going to be tripping over everyone over this period of time. There's only so many drivers that can get through. Tobias Tirolf is already on the back of a car. She's trying to jostle for precision. So going around the first sector, of course you've got the ever so popular S's, sweeping rights and sweeping lefts, making full use of the downforce of these Formula cars. It's going to supply some very good racing. So over the course of the evening, you'll be able to identify Tobias Tirolf. He's going to be like one of the front runners for today. I can predict amongst him, Thorsten, and William McCone. You can identify Tobias by his bright yellow Deutsche Post car, the number 3, going through the second sector, starting the third. Third sector is going to be one of my favourite parts of the track, in my opinion. Weaving across the straight to warm the tyres, but it's not going to be the fastest way around on the hot lap. It's going to be this very, very fast left. It's going to put enormous stress on the tyres. I think it's going to be a lot of times going to be made like trying to push as much as you can without going too far on the curbs, otherwise you'll invalidate the lap and you won't be able to have that lap time set. And you'll have to try again. So, 27 minutes, 40 seconds, Tobias Tirolf and 3 other drivers. I haven't checked out the liveries yet. I probably should have done that. Everyone's going to be starting their first hot laps of the session. It's not going to be much to commentate on for quite a few minutes. There's going to be a lot of scrambling going on to try and get a clean space on the track. Your run will bubble, if you will, to try and get your ample space to try get your qualifying time in order. And also, if you hear a bunch of squeaking in the background, don't worry about it. It's just very windy where I am. It's to do with how the room was built. It's to do with the ventilation thing, the airflow and all that. I mean, from what I know, like, this should be impossible because I've got Crisp enabled on Discord, and I should mitigate that, but it's not. My microphone's incredibly dodgy like that. But here's Arthur Graw to set the first purple sector of the session in his number 11 Panasonic. No, it's number 13. I can't read. But that first sector is a 51.682. And coming to the end of the second sector, starting the third, he's going to be in a 136. Oh, god damn it. 138.8 is the benchmark at the minute. No one's been able to go faster than that on their first hot lap of the session. Heavy braking into a chicane. Arthur Graw is the first to lead Tobias Tirolf in the number 3 Deutsche Post car. We're going to see our first round of qualifying hot laps. Assuming some of the drivers kept it clean. And these are the first times on the clock. David Kulas takes pole position ahead of Tobias Tirolf, and Arthur Graw has invalidated his lap, unfortunately, but he's trying again right now. Arthur Grove, Inspired Yorkshire Racing. Keep an eye for that number 13 Panasonic. Going through Sector 1. Got a few more times on the board. Felice Vicari taking 3rd place, and William McCone taking 4th. Sebastian Gunther in 5th. Matthew Renion. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Matthew Renion, the Finnish driver, in 6th place, and Heiko Motterhead in what appears to be 8th place, and Timo Reiter in 9th. Still many drivers, there's only 9 out of 32 on the grids who set lap times 25 minutes to go. Top 3 are Kulas, Tierolf and Vicari. Tobias has got the pace to improve though. He's knocked it out of the park with that first sector. He's gone purple. You could round that off to a 10th in the first sector alone. He's going to be digging for more in that second sector. Let's see what he can pull off ahead of Kulas. Any second now. Of course, he's following the number 13 of Arthur Groff for a little bit of that draft. He's going to be getting that little bit extra straight line speed. He's gone purple by just over 10 hundredths of a second. Will he be able to carry enough speed through that chicane and try to take that pole position away from David Kulas? It's going to be tight now. It's going to be getting that help from across the start-finish straight, and that 2/10 is from Arthur Graw in front is going to be enough for Tobias Tierolf to secure pole position for now, with 23 minutes left to go. Timo Reiter going green in P12. He improves his lap time, but he stays where he is at. But as others log in their lap times, it's going to be dropping to P14 from P12. Matthew Renion. I need to get used to saying Renion. He's in P7 at the minute. He's improved. Sitting just behind Claudio Terranova in P6. But Claudio's gone to green too. He's going to be improving from P6. Can he get in front of Gunther? Or maybe even McCone? He gets past Gunther, but he's still a 10th behind McCone. He's still got a little bit of pace in him. He's gone, if you remember from our Formula 1 X17 series, he was one of the quickest drivers there on a few occasions. He's had flashes of brilliance in those Formula machines. He knows what to do with the downforce. He just needs to put it into practice. Solid midfield contender. And maybe if you're a podium, if nobody covers him off, you know. Jančić. Jančić, yeah. It's going to be crossing the line soon. He's going to be improving for P17, I hope, because that's 13 seconds off of the leader's pace. Oh yeah, that will do a P8. Solid midfield position on the 4th row. Ralph Bart is going to be putting in a better lap time than he is currently. He's gone green in 2 sectors. Can he finish it off with a 3rd and improve from P10? Maybe overtaking Andy Darnell and Jančić in the process. Just about misses out on that last sector in the 44. But here comes Renion again. He's gone green in 2 sectors. He's just about 1 second off the leader's pace, that being Tobias Tierolf. But he improved slightly, but it comes off. He's spun into the first sector into the first turn. Just a little bit of grass. That's only a little bit's enough. And he lose all grip and downforce. He goes spinning into the gravel trap. I think he held escape, so nobody had an accident or anything. So running can continue. Satiris Maraitis hasn't set a lap time yet. He's going to be using the draft from the 44 in front of him to try and get a little bit of straight line speed and a little bit more tenths. Where's he going to end up? He's going to be in P15, ahead of Timo Reiter. We've also got times on the board from well, P13 belongs to MSIC. I really should have pronounced these names before the stream started. Oh, there's a car going off, trying to dart out of the way from David Gulas, who's 1/10 purple. He's going to be overtaking Tobias Dierhoff if he keeps up this pace. 1.5 tenths in the second sector. It looks very promising. He might be overtaking Tobias Dierhoff for pole position. This is a very good setup if he can keep the speed rolling. He's got the draft in front of him to overtake, to be on par with the straight line speed anyway. He doesn't abuse the toe, but he does overtake by just 100, just one shot, 100 shy. David Kulas was, but then Tobias Dierhoff just logged in another time to hammer down on his pole position. Wow, 2:05.7, that is a credible time for these cars. Certainly one man who's put in incredible dedication into practicing for the series and is certainly showing on track. 18 minutes and a half left to go, 19 times on the board, and there's just about, there's over 32. We've reached 33 drivers on this grid. You can only see 20 of them on the leaderboard there. And Janos Kovac just set his first lap time. He's on P8, ahead of Rinion, but behind Gunther. Will McCone's still in P4, but he's still, despite that, he's 3 tenths off in Sector 1, but he's improving his lap time, and that number, well, it's a red car. One of few. The number 25 in particular, Beltec Racing, with that livery. There's a few cars in front of him, so he's going to be benefiting from the tow for a small bit. Might be a new fastest lap to get on the second row. He goes green, but he's 4 tenths off the leader's pace. He's getting held up by a few cars in front of him. At 22 has blocked him off, I think. That's very annoying. Where's Will going to end up now? I think it's going to be... Yeah, it got absolutely ruined by the 22. Oh, they backed wheels going into turn 1. This aggression is really unnecessary, considering this isn't even the race, it's qualifying. You should be letting people go, trying to get into your own bubble, setting yourself up for a hot lap, not bashing wheels like that. Besides, these cars are delicate. If you breathe on them too hard, the suspension will break, so this is not... You don't want to drive these like touring cars. No, you want to nurture it like a little kid. But that's probably not the best description, but you get what I mean. You want to nurture at home, otherwise it won't survive. Will's going even quicker. He's only 1.5 tenths off of the leaders, off of Tobias' lap time now. If he can keep this up, he'll be right behind. He'll be overtaking Felice Vicari for his spot in the second row. But I suppose this is the hammer down, so he doesn't get attacked by Stefan Beluca in P5. Because he's within 1/100th of a second. So of course it'll be wise to cover him off. he can. No draft in front of him, though. That's a luxury that... Oh, he's almost gone purple. He's only 200ths off. If he can manage this exit very, very cleanly, he's going to be taking pole position almost. This might be the lap for William McCone. That third sector looked very smooth indeed. He might be in it with... He's in it with a chance. He's gone halfway through the session. 205.8. That's enough for P2. Half a tenth behind William McCone is David Kulas. Not even 200th of a second. This is very, very intense, close racing right now. Certainly setting the stage for an incredible few races, few sprints today. A train of 3 cars crosses the finish line. One of them is Sebastian Gunther. Will he be improving from P7? He won't, but he's still giving it 100%. He wants to use the tow as much as he can. In front of Gunther is Claudio Terranova, half a second off of the pole sitter's time. He would have been, if he could have carried that momentum without going into the gravel trap, he would have been able to get in front of Beluca for P5 and start behind Kulas in the third row. He's certainly got the pace in him. He just needs to keep pushing for the rest of these 13.5 minutes. I apologize for the wind. I need to... Okay, I'm located mute, so if I'm not talking and the wind is absolutely angry, then I'll just mute myself so you won't have to listen to the wind wanting to do a bit of commentary as well, I suppose. James McKnight from Canada, 1.5 seconds off of the pole leader's time, but this is going to be... Yeah, he's at the very back of the grid right now, so anything's going to be faster. Just needs to pull off one clean lap and he's going to be ahead. Or at least improve on his current lap time, which is 2 minutes 12. That is over. That was like 7 seconds off of the leader's pace. Not very fast at all, but he's going to be improving. He's only 3.5 seconds off now. He might be overtaking Antonio Phantom in P24. You might be able to see him now, just at the bottom. The leaderboard is so big, it goes off of the screen. Look at it. It's crazy. Manfred Matematik overtakes for P24, and Sotiris Margaritis in P23. Their top 3 remains to be Tobias Tyrrell, William McCone in a very good hot lap, and David Kulas in P3. Looks like he's content with that lap time, and Felice Vicara is still out there trying to overtake Kulas to get the better starting position. Of course, Beluca is still out there, but he hasn't been able to break past his 8/10/700 delta on Tobias. And Terranova's giving it socks as well. He's only 1/10 off of Beluca. If he can pull that miracle lap off once again, he'll be starting behind on the third row, which is going to be a very good position for Terranova to be in on a race start like this. Anything can happen. And it's not always certain that the pole sitter can actually survive, because even if you have a qualifying session very good and you have it your way, the race can also be very different. So I wouldn't totally rule out even someone like Vicari or even Gunther taking a podium position here, because anything can happen. Anyone can be taken out. Accidents do happen. getting close racing like this always produces some kind of contact, even though it's most drivers try to avoid it, others embrace it as a racing tactic. We were frowned upon that. If 44 goes off the track, he's touching the grass a little bit. That's the end of the 44's lap. I think that could have been Ralph Bart. He was improving a small bit there, but he's obviously gone off, pushed a little bit too hard. Tobias Theroff nearly got a new personal best, new fastest pole time, but he's lost the 2/10 he's gained in that last sector. He's definitely got the pace to go faster. He's been setting purple sectors time and time again. As Ralph Bart exits the pits, darts out of the way onto the grass to avoid Claudio Terranova. And Darnell, the blue number 24, in P11 at the minute, is trying his best to try and work his way up the midfield order behind Arthur Grog. And Joseph Sisoglu, trying to hold off Jancek as well. Jancek. I still don't know how to pronounce that name. It's one of those things, I suppose. Robert Andestoy in P14. Green first sector, 7/10.5 off Tobias Theroff's pole time. But he is wrapping up the second sector and going onto the third with another car behind him.
Hey, my name is Jan Cheek, okay?
Janchik. Right, that was Jan Janchik. Just on the mic there. He's chilling in the commentator chat with me. A bunch of the drivers are listening along to me as I commentate while they race, alongside you guys watching the stream. So I enjoy these little driver interactions like that. I'm glad I could get that clarified. Janchik. Yeah, that's great. Roger Amnestoy improving the P13, one place higher than he was, overtaking Renion. I can finally say that name correctly. Now relegated to P14. Felice Vicari. Oh, he's on another monster lap now. He's only 2/10 off of Tobias's pole time. He narrowly avoids someone's car that's parked in the last chicane in the heavy braking zone. Vicari might very well improve now. Just keep your eye on the scoreboard, wait for when he crosses the line. I don't think he managed it. The scoreboard would have updated by now, I think. But he's definitely got the pace, though, to improve. He might very well be able to still overtake Kulas. But one thing I should really rule out is, no matter how fast you are on that pace, it's all, in these sprint races, it's all going to be about consistency, because, of course, during qualifying, being able to do, a high 205 is going to be very well for you. But, there's no point in thinking you're safe if you can only do a 205 maybe once every few laps and then doing a cooldown. You have to continue punching in those 205, high 205, low 206 if you want to try and get on that podium tonight. And that's precisely what Tobias Theroff, William McCone, and people like Felice Vicari and David Kulas are trying to achieve. I suppose they're just using this last 5 minutes of the practice session to try and get their head into their mind into the game. So 5.5 minutes left to go. Tobias is still very well in pole position, with William McCone in P2 lining up alongside him in the second row, not in the first row. Second row would be David Kulas and Felice Vicari. another two very close drivers. The top three are within a tenth of each other on qualifying pace, so that's a neat little stat. Incredibly close racing here. Another thing is that Beluca seems to have improved by almost a tenth, because it used to be 8.5 tenths back, now it's 7.5. So it's a little bit of a higher mountain for Claudio Terranova in P6, the Italian, to climb and steal that spot in P5. But a third row start wouldn't be too bad for him now. He just needs to make sure he doesn't trip over the front runners, and who knows, we might get a lucky start, but I wouldn't push my luck into that turn 1 though. That is a very sketchy corner, especially on cold tires, cold brakes. They're often going to be someone's going to try forcing a 3 wide, thinking they're Max Verstappen, and it's going to be a massive wreck fest. So, oh crap, that might actually be very entertaining. It's a duality of sim racing. From a spectator's aspect, like a crowd, like a pile-up can be entertaining, but I mean, at least for me. But as a driver, like being involved in the pile-up after working so hard for your starting position is, it's like, as a driver myself, both real and sim, it's an utter heartbreak. I've been there before in many disciplines. Brinian is making a very good lap for himself. He's only 8 tenths off. He might very well improve from P15. This looks like he's going to be over P10 maybe, if he can wrap it up, but he couldn't. He loses, like, must be there's something he's doing wrong in that final sector. He's losing a second in that sector every time. And something I should emphasize though is that this is a fixed setup competition, so no custom setups are allowed, so everyone has the same wing angle for the same top. The wind shut up. For goodness sake. Alright, please ignore the wind. But anyway, as I was saying, everyone's going to be at the same top speed relatively. Everyone's going to be running the same wing angles, same suspension, same tire pressures, I think. The only thing that they'll be able to adjust is fuel levels, brake balance, and brake pressure, which is vital for like the very basic necessities on how to change the car to your driving style or to certain corners. Because there's a lot of drivers that can't handle 100% brake pressure, so in order to make the brake pedal a lot easier to use, like they often reduce the pressure. So if all this means the brake is less responsive and less powerful, like that's precisely what they wanted to do. So. Because if you put in too much brake in these cars, it's no ABS to save you from locking up and going into a wall. So there's that. One and a half minutes left to go. So Tobias is on another purple lap. Will he be able to keep it clean now for this final sector? Maybe might be able to knuckle down in that pole position. Just 800ths shy. No, hang on. He did actually do it. He is now 3.5 tenths ahead of William McCone and Kulas, respectively. But what's scaring me about Theorolf now is that, he was doing high 205s consistently. The only weak spot I can see in Tobias is down the sector 3. But now we can see what Tobias can really do on a good lap. But of course there's a few factors like low fuel and clear track and maybe even a bit of draft in front of him, but that's his lap time, 2:05.453. That is the fastest lap time on the board. William McCone starting alongside him in P2. And the second row, David Koulas in third, Felicia Vicari in fourth. Sebastian Gunther takes P5 with Beluca in sixth. Claudio Terranova relinquished seventh. Kovac in eighth. Christian Kibovic in ninth. Arthur Grau drops to 10th. Photosystiglu in 11th. Andy Darnell starts alongside him in the sixth row in 12th place. And that is your top 12. Should be a very exciting race this evening. Although I fear there might be a lot of carnage coming up. 5 minutes and we are back racing. Alright, so 1 minute and a half left to go of warm up. And sorry, apologies for the wind. It's so with the room. But anyway, to remind you of the running order if you've just joined us, welcome to the first round of PetrolHead's SimRacing Formula 4. It's our sequel to the first season of the championship, I suppose. And we've got a lot more interesting battles going on this time. The top three runners were roughly within like almost Like, everyone is within tenths of each other. Like, it's going to be a tough battle for the race win. It's going to be all about consistency in the end of it. But in terms of qualifying pace, everyone was relatively matched. So the only thing I'd be really worried about here is like people. It's just the start, really. Like with over 30, there's 31 cars in the grid. It's going to be a mess. No way around this. But hey, who knows? Maybe someone will prove me wrong. But yeah, it's. I wouldn't bet. Anyways, the people all over the track during the warm-up practicing their starts will be very important later on. By later on, I mean like in 30 seconds, because we're about to go racing here at Suzuka for the opening round of PetrolHead's SimRacing Formula 4 Season 2. I think that's what we call it. Probably. That's a massive grid. Like, there's so many cars of. Like, you can only really put it into scope in the starting shot. After a while, they get so scattered you can't even tell. But like, the amount of this is like a karting grid right here, like a professional karting grid. There's that many cars. Yeah. Like the maximum number that you can have, of course, on Suzuka was 36. We've got 31. We had 33 earlier, but a few people have dropped out thanks to ping. Alright, 20-minute races. Tobias Tiroff on pole with McCone. On the opposite side of him on the first row. The first lap of the first race of the first... Alright, that was a botched start by me. But also a little bit of a botched start from Felicia Vicari there. Couldn't overtake David Kulas for third place. William McCone stays behind Tobias Tiroff. And Gunther makes it up to P5. Racing side by side with Beluga there. Gabriel Tapbox in P30 has had a small bit of an accident. Cars at the back there. Heiko Motorhead has had an accident. There's been a lot of cars involved in an accident at the start there. I didn't quite catch what happened. Only a Phantom in it as well. Called it. But there's Kulas in P3. He's managed to hold on to his position. He managed to hold on to P3 alright. Vicari is obviously trying to give him as much pressure as he can on this opening lap while he's still close to him. And then the toe, someone's off! Robert Mestoy's just collected a few cars, but I think that's a damaged front wing for a few of them. Arnold Berger was certainly got a front row seat to that, as he's racing a few people side by side. William McCone very, very close to Tobias Tiroff. The draft will help him a lot, but it's also going to help Kulas behind him overtake his spot. As we see a Panasonic car of Mikola Volinets in P30 get going again after touching the grass. Top three are within half a second. Leaving the third sector, going onto the start-finish straight, it's going to be Tobias Tiroff that pulls out with a 6th, 7th, 10th gap to William McCone and takes the lead of round 1 in Suzuka. Will McCone remains in P2. He's racing. There's going to be racing side by side for P6 to P4. Sebastian Gunther is going to try and make it work. William McCone's gone off into the gravel trap. He's lost lots of positions there. I don't know if he's overdriven or if he's been hit off. But he's losing position after position after position. He's from the front to P22. reunited with Arthur Grot just there. I don't know what happened there. Stefan Beluca now overtakes. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's in P5 purely because, well, McCone's binned it. But Beluca's also racing Kovac for half a second back to found P5, while Kovac is in P6. Gunther has been, well, he's nowhere near the top 3, but he's in it for a solid points finish for 4th. Felicia Vicari is not very far away from Kulas. This is a very good slipstreaming range. They're essentially bumper to bumper now. Again, sorry about the wind. Kovac is very, very close to the car in front of him. Slightly offline, he was getting very cheeky there. Might have been not the best way to overtake. Just side by side. Felicia's going to try to race him, but it's not going to work out, I don't think. Kivovic gives him the space, and there's not going to be enough grip for Felice to hold that line. He's going to have to relinquish, and now he's under attack from Andy Darnell in P7. Kivovic up to P5 now. Very good progress. Mobius has almost pulled out a 9-second gap to the end of the field. That isn't driving talent, I don't know what is. That guy is something else. Oh, side by side in the background I can see Andy Darnell going side by side with Felicia Vicari. That damaged chassis isn't doing Vicari any favours. Now Andy can focus on catching Christian for P5. And meanwhile, for P3, Beluca and Janusz Kovac are fighting over the final podium position. Kovac was a really prominent figure in the X17 series we did a while back. And a lot of his expertise is carried over to the younger formulas, I suppose. Stepping over the curb a small bit. They're going to try it too wide. They don't botch it this time. Kovac managed to get through. Beluca gives them enough space to do so. That's very respectful racing. I can commend that. But maybe, what if this is what Stefan Beluca wants? He's going to try, maybe if he's going to hang around him throughout the final the final lap of the race, he's going to try and maybe get that slipstream advantage and overtake him. Maybe he let this happen just so he wouldn't be the one with the disadvantage at the end of the straight, but who knows, like, it looks like to be backfiring a little bit. He's over half a second away from him. McCone's been very, very, very good. He's been, ever since that last excursion we saw him in, he's managed to close back his way back up into P15. He's racing the number 44. Ocon's gone off in the second sector. Fortisistic boost going into Andy Darnell, I believe. No, that's Jan Janchik. Gonna be wheel spanging constantly. That second sector has produced a lot of collisions this race. Alright, this is going to be the final lap of the race, I believe. This is going to be Andy Darnell's last chance to overtake for P5. Satiris Morita is wingless. He's waiting for the timer to count down, and he's crossed the line. Managed to survive. Janchuk is obviously very unhappy with that last excursion. He goes down the inside of that Etihad car that caused the collision in the first place, I believe. He went wide in. The Etihad went very wide anyway. William McCone in P13 now getting the draft. Just a little bit too late. Finishes P13. And the 44 of Heiko Muttersheds in P23 just has a little bit of an accident towards the end. Oh, but overtakes is that Felice Vicari? No, that's not. Same livery, but that's not Vicari. That's Zicciatella. Zicciatella. That's another Italian name. I'm terrible at those ones. But this is the first heat out of 3 over now. Tobias Thierhoff is your race winner. Sebastian Gunther cleaning up very nicely for second place, and Janos Kovac, after a valiant fight against Beluca, overtakes for the final podium spot for P3. What a great race this was. Don't go anywhere. We're about to go racing again for round 2. This is definitely going to be a busy one for the stewards. I mean, I know I'm laughing, but I'm one of them. I'm not very excited for that, but at least I won't be alone in the matter. Practice has started again for an hour and 50 minutes. Wait, no, it hasn't. My tool was just lagging a bit. We're now in another 5-minute warm-up. I'll be back in 5 minutes, just in time for the race action. Don't go anywhere. See you in a bit. I lied. I'll come back 3.5 minutes early to talk about what's blowing up on the Discord at the minute, because there's quite an uproar from a few of the guys there. First of all, Taphooks' game crashed, unfortunately, so he's been a bit upset about that. Same for Mikola Volinets. So, but anyway, like, what else is happening in the Discord is that Arthur Graw is also apologizing for any people he's hit, especially with Amistoy in the first lap. But people are all agreeing that it's really hard to race around Amistoy because he's turned out to be very laggy and very hard to race around. Like, probably doesn't show as much on stream, but there's nothing worse than racing a laggy car in a sim race. Like, it's a gamble. It's precisely what it is. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of lack of spatial awareness that time. Maybe we'll get a bit of an improvement for our next round. But that was a lot of wreckage. Yeah, that was certainly entertaining. There was never a dull moment in that race. At least for the podium, at least everywhere but the win anyway. That was pretty secured very early on. By the alien himself, Tobias Tirov, he is not from his planet. That is evident. So, 1 minute 30 left to go, warm up. I will go back to playing Tetris in my browser until further notice. See you in a second. And thank you for the kind words, Timo. It was a bit rough at the start, but I improved. So hopefully I won't botch the race start again this time, because I'm supposed to be making timestamps right now for my friend for when they watch the stream tomorrow. So I don't want to sound like a complete arse on the bike. I mean, at least not as much as usual, no. But you know yourself. Alright, we've got double low on the clock for warm-up about to end. Formation lap is now pending. That was just me putting up my stream. For any of those who are in the commentary VC but aren't playing the game, you can watch what I'm commentating on through the Discord stream that I just threw up. So here we are, formation lap. Everyone's going to be on the start finish straight for hopefully another attempt at a cleaner start this time. Hopefully, it was a bit botched last time. All right, intermission is over. We are back in business now for round 2 of Suzuka. Melvin Brent in P1, Claudio Terranova in P2, Kulas in P3, Andy Darnell in P4, getting a very good start. All the way up there to P3 now. Might be P2 by the end of the straight. That 27 is side by side. Trying to not lose out into P4. Side by side with Andy buying his wheels slightly. There's going to be 3 wide going into the corner. Terranova's dropped down to 5th, Kubovic in 4th, Andy Darnell's now in 3rd, Kulas in 2nd, Grant 1st. That's going to be a bit of an accident. Pile up in the 1st sector, Christian Kubovic in 12th. He's been involved in a very heavy shunt. Cars everywhere in the first sector in the S's. This has gone horribly wrong. And amongst them is Christian Kubovic. That chassis didn't survive a single lap. Oh, damn. That just goes to show how fragile these cars are. Like, of course, if you take a touring car or a GT3, you can bang and bash and put them through hell, and they'll still function, you know? But, like, once you bend the chassis on this, you're out. Hence, this is one problem with Formula racing. But as you can see, a bunch of cars survived. Thierolf has managed to capitalize on the chaos. He's already up to P7. Only 2 sectors into the race. Melvin Brandt is using his pole position race advantage very, very well. He's in first place still, and David Koulas is 2 tenths behind him. It's going to be a move on the start for this straight, I think. But Andy Darnell still hanging on to third. Starting from P5, he's done a very great job. Of course, that race start could have gone better for Claudio in P4. But he's still hanging on to the draft, you can see him. And now we follow Tobias Thierolf in P7. Simultaneously defending from Sebastian Gunther in P8 and trying to battle Felice Vicari for 6th place. Meanwhile, Felice is also trying to get past Kovac for P5. Kovac is back in that very good position again. His consistency is what led him to get a podium last time. His experience in the X17 series and the Formula 1 series we had is definitely carrying over to the younger formulas, as I said a while ago. 3 minutes in and we're still not finished racing on the opening lap chaos fever. Melvin Brandt is doing very, very well. Up in front, he's covering off Koulas, and he's been wide but robust, but fair. Maybe an inside move, he's got the better exit speed. Koulas is going to be on the inside of the next corner. Andy Darnell is going to be following him. It's going to be a bit of a train. Andy's following Koulas through, I think. They can't maintain this for long. Melvin Brandt almost loses it on the chicane. Very, very nearly. Now it's going side by side with Claudio Terranova, also getting into the mix. Very close indeed, but no contact yet. Going into the heavy braking zone, into the chicane. Andy Darnell now at P2, fighting David Koulas for the lead, with Melvin Brandt remaining in P3, with Claudio Terranova not even half a second behind him. Janos Kovac in P5 has a very good front seat of all this. Alrighty. So going through the S's for the 3rd time on lap 3, 15 minutes to go. Koulas leading the race with Andy Darnell in 2nd, Melvin Brandt in 3rd, Claudio Terranova still in 3rd and 4th, with Kovac going up into 5th. And P9 on the grid, can you believe that? Felice Vicari's in 6th, has to recover very well, but Tobias Thierolf still hasn't improved in P7. I would have expected him to be in P5 right now, but it's a tough grid, you know? It's built like none other. There's a car ahead of them. I just saw him go off. There's a lot of repeat liveries here, so I couldn't tell exactly who it was. Oh, someone's gone offline. You can see Sebastian Gunther watching the 2. yellow Formula cars go 3 wide into the second sector. They can't maintain this, someone has to back out. Tobias in 6th place, trying to get the inside line. That Panasonic in front of Kovac isn't going to help him very much. This is a very crazy pack race going on in the 3rd sector at the beginning of it. They single out in time. Going into this fast left. Someone's going to try another move in there. Very sketchy indeed. Sebastian Gunther trying to defend for as much as he can. Just about holds off. He's got the draft in front of him to protect him from the 27 behind him in P8. It was none other than Felice Vicari. But Tobias Thierhoff has disappeared and he's reappeared in 5th place. He's right behind Claudio Terranova now. He's 3 seconds behind him. But he can make gaps like that vanish in an instant. You just watch. There's quite a train going on in the midfield from P6 and backwards, all the way up to Vicari and Gunther. The entire midfield is in a train, I think. There's got to be like 6 cars up in there. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Someone's after brake. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's front wing's broken or heavily damaged. Vicari and Janos Kovac are having a very good fight now. Going 3 wide. In the background there, we're side by side racing with Felice Vicari. Someone's going to have to back out of this. No one's yielding. I wouldn't go for that, Felice. He backs out of it. Let's not go crazy. You've got half race distance left to go, 11.5 minutes left to go. Still plenty of time to make that move. You know, you're faster enough. So let's not rush it. Let's make sure we survive to the end of the race, yeah? Don't want to repeat the last stint. But Fabio is doing very well to get... he's just trying to knuckle down and keep hitting those apexes while Tobias Thierhoff looms over him, half a second behind. That number 3 Deutsch post is going to be very, very empowering in that rearview mirror, going into the wall. Claudio Terranova is most certainly done this, to say the least. And that's one less car for Tobias Thierhoff to worry about to get back into these podium positions. And as the race cools down a little bit, I'd like to pay my respects to the 5 drivers who have perished in that turn, in those first few turns there. I'd like to pay my respects to Tonio Phantom, Timo Reiter, Christian Kubovic, Ryan Oberger, and even James McKnight, and even Ralph Barsh as well. It's very unfortunate that they got wrecked out of it. If we're lucky, we'll have 25 drivers left for the 3rd race, for the 3rd sprint. That is a lot. We're now down to 20 cars left in the running now. Running on at the back in P20, with Kulas at the very front. Tobias Thierhoff side by side with Felice Vicari. No, that's Melvin Brandt, sorry. Brandt is not making this very easy for Tobias. He's going to try. Tobias is trying every trick in the book to try to get past him. Almost, he's tripped over a few cones, I think, over the curb. Melvin Brandt has gone off. He's trailing the gravel trap. Sebastian Gunther's lost it. I think it's over for Sebastian Gunther this time. It's very unfortunate. He's lost so many positions. I think he can still drive if he so chooses to do so. Now it's a fight between Janos Kovac and William McCone, P6. McCone is cutting his way through the field. Stefan Beluca has dropped from the podium positions down all the way down to P9. A little bit of information on Reiter, who's apparently his game crashed, unfortunately. So Tobias is making very good time on Andy Darnell. It'll be up to Andy whether or not he either lets him fight for it for 6.5 minutes remaining, or if he just lets him go if he gets close enough. While that happens, Felice Vicari is fighting for P4. Melvin Brandt has the perfect fairy tale start to this race. Tobias is definitely biding his time with this overtake. He's definitely got a strong draft on Andy Darnell. Maybe he's tries it on the outside there. There's no way he makes that stick. That is crazy. Tobias Thierhoff. That is insane. Andy still has the inside line, but it's going to be still a bit of a slipstream now. He's lots to back end behind him. He's going to try on the start-finish straight, I think. We'll see how this braking goes. But there's William McCone in P4, fighting for P4. Oh, it's going to be a little bit of a jammy move. Oh, that was very, very dicey there. That could have very, very well ended in an accident. Tobias is certainly putting Andy Darnell under pressure. I think Andy is going to make Tobias work for it this time. Defending very, very well. So not much going on right now. Like, as soon as I say that, they're going side by side. Tobias Pirro versus Andy Darnell. Inside of the fast right, where it's going to be Andy Darnell's inside for the hairpin left. Pirro is going to make it stick, but Belucas, after going off in the second sector, it's going to be a yellow flag in the yellow sector for a while. It's gone now. But Belucas, after losing a position, and now he's under threat by Janchik. Yeah, now Janchik. I need to get better at explaining foreign names, as I've made so clear in every live stream I've done so far. But you know yourself. So Janos Kovac from P6 is going to be fighting for P5 now from William McCone. McCone's gained 9 positions over the course of this race distance. He's tigered his way back up the field to get a very good points finish for himself to try. It's 42 of Fortis-Issiglu in 8th place. We're going slightly wide in turn 1 there. Might be something wrong with the car. That's usually what it looks like when the ring broke, so you lose a lot of grip. Anyway, Kovac is very, he's starting to lose a lot more time to McCone now. That draft, despite the draft, he's not going to be able to hang behind very much longer unless he picks up the pace. And something I should... Oh, someone's gone off. It's Melvin Brandt again, I think. No, it was McCone. William McCone's gone off. This is P5. Now he's going to have to fight Kovac for it all over again in the space of 1.5 minutes. So I believe, like, by the end of lap 10, that would be the last lap. But Thirov is in second place. Kulas has managed to keep cool and keep his head. I don't think Tobias will be able to catch Kulas in time. I think he might be able to just pull it off within the last lap. Just need a few clean laps from Kulas and then he's got it under his belt. But McCone's going to be fighting Kovac now. And something I should mention as well is that Melvin Brandt has also fell down to P7. Fortis-Issiglu's gone up to P8, and Terranova is residing in P9 at the minute. Vic Vega has managed to capitalize on Belucas' misfortunes. He's come back from all the way from P20, Vic Vega. He's made up 10 positions. I think that's our highest climber. No, that would be Adrian Ruiz, who's made 17 positions from the start. He's in P14 at the minute, but he started at the very, very back. Very good performance from the Spaniard. So there's definitely a lot of buzz going on in the Discord server right now. There's just a bunch of talk between everyone that DNF'd. Like say, like everyone's sort of explaining what happened to them and like everyone else's situation. Yeah, this is going to be a tough. This is going to be another steward series. Yeah, we're going to be very prominent this time around. Make sure everyone wins back again, but. Anyway, my point stands. There will be stewarding. There will be penalties for any misconduct that is reported. So, if you're listening along and there's any collisions that you are very unhappy about, or you think that it has caused it was significant enough to cause a defect in your race, then definitely report it to us and the stewards, and we will get it sorted. We will issue penalties of all kinds. And other kinds of penalties depending on the severity. But that's it for race 2. David Koulas managed to hold off Tobias Therov to take the second ever race win of the second ever race of the season. That was a bit harsh, but Andy Darnell also managing to take it home on P3. Very good points for him as well. Renion manages to take it home in P19, although he was at the last of the running cars. He's been lapped at least once. He did finish higher than 6 drivers in the session. But there's a bit of talk about Marco Zicitella. Yeah, I said that right the first time. But yeah, there is a lot of talk about this guy. Everyone seems to be not very happy with him. It's also a bit of talk about Ruiz. I remember Spaniard I was going on about here earlier. We managed to finish P14 that time. But yeah, I can't wait to see what William McCone will be able to pull off this time round. Now that he's worked his way back up the grid, he might be able to challenge for wins again alongside everyone else. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. See you after the warm-up ends, and I'll see you in time for the next race start. Alright, we are back. The third final time this evening we are going to be racing in Japan. I believe this is, this is Suzuka, so this is technically set in Japan. That's what the circuit is. So warm-up is about to end. It's going to be another reverse grid. Haven't done the maps yet, so I'm just going to wait and see who's on pole this time. There's one more 20-minute stint coming up. And it looks like the number 31 is up on pole with 27 in second place. That could be Felice Vicari, I think. And Thierolf is once again all the way back in the midfield towards the back. So he's got another mountain to climb this time round, but let's see if our new grid can hold him behind for long enough. It's Vic Vega in front now, with Claudio Terranova closer than he ever was to the race win. It's going to be up to him now to get to the race, the front of the race. It's going to be lights out, and now Fotis Issiglu is going to get a mediocre start as Claudio Terranova gets ahead of him. Racing side by side, manages to get ahead of him anyway. Fotis Issiglu manages to get P2. Terranova's gone round and collected Janos Kovac. There's multiple cars involved. David Kulas is in it as well. He almost collects two more cars in the back. That was horrible. Vega's intact. Fotis Issiglu in front and William McCone in second and third are intact. Andy Darnell's back up there in P4. Felice Vicari has managed to get through alright with Melvin Brand in P6. Tobias Thierolf has once again gained 3 more positions from P7 to P7. That's just terrible. Where we singled out right now, and William McCone's in third. It's going to be Andy Darnell trailing behind him, and Felice Vicari trailing behind Andy Darnell to try and jockey in position over the draft now. Racing too wide, this is the heavy braking zone for first. Fotis Issiglu in the Monster Energy car got overtaken by William McCone in P2. Now in second place, he aims to try overtake the race leader half a second ahead of him. He's got a little bit of ground to make up, but he's got plenty of time to do so with 17.5 minutes left to go. Still heavy racing between Felice Vicari and Andy Darnell. They're going side by side into the S's, so once we have to back out, it's going to be Felice Vicari slotting back in behind Andy Darnell. He can't go off line too much, otherwise Melvin Brandt in P6 behind him is going to be all over him. Nobody's really separated yet. It's still a very close train going into the second sector. Fotis Issiglu is going to break very early indeed, and Andy Darnell is going to get alongside. That would be Fotis Issiglu in third place with Andy Darnell in fourth. Very nearly having a look into an overtake there, but it's just not going to work on this occasion. It's got 3 quarters of the race distance left to Let's figure something out for Forces This Blue. Try and get another podium out of this. Alright. So we have a little bit of racing between Big Vega and Foot. Almost to the wrong people. And he's after having a bit of a touch and a little bit of an excursion off the wall. Oh, someone's spun. Melvin Brandt has gone off once again. Down to P10 now, P13. It's going to be a yellow flag at the final sector. That is incredibly frustrating. I've never seen a clean start here at Suzuka, not in any racing category. Always some kind of accident, you know? Leach has lost a bunch of speed there. He's going to be under attack from Andy Darnell. Zissaglu is going to lose a bunch of speed. Now Felice Beccari and Andy Darnell overtook him. Andy Darnell's into the gravel trap now. The midfield's all over him. He's lost out on a possible podium there. He's going to work his way back up now. Sebastian Gunther making a return to the midfield, taking up into P7, trying to briefly overtake Beluca in P6, for P6. But Sir Beluca got the superior exit speed. What's happening now is Janos Kovac is been overtaken by Gunther. And Janos wants this position back. The draft will help him accomplish this, I imagine. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention for a second. So William McCone's taking the lead of the race. Matthias Tyrrell almost coming up from P10 at the start, all the way up to P3 by the beginning of lap 4. And Felice Beccari is the only thing that separates the two drivers from having a bit of a battle in their hands. So stuff is starting to slow down very much. So I'll be back in a second. I'm very sorry for leaving. I'll be back very, very shortly. So I just got back there and I missed something very big. The Lucas man is off. That's after having a bit of a spin. He's lost so many positions now. So I'd imagine after this race there's going to be a bump, more than a few steward inquiries. There's a lot of buzz in the Discord, not much of it being very happy. almost a little bit of an off-track excursion from Andy Darnell. Trying everything he can to get past Sebastian Gunther for the S's, following through. Red number 25 in front of him. Gunther's also trying to get past Kovac for P5 to try to get a little bit more points in the series, especially after what happened there in the second race. That was a major setback, that one. All it takes is one collision. There's Manfred Mamatek in P11, chasing down P10. Someone's gone off into the gravel trap. It's Kibovic, I believe. Something's happened to him. That's very unfortunate. Kibovic is DNF'd. Yeah, he was doing pretty well in these cars. It's just going to survive. There's really no room for error right now. Too wide going into the third sector. Manfred Mamatek overtaking the Italian Marco Zicitella. I cannot. It's that. Anyway, he's gone ahead. It's P10, he's overtaken them for the position. Vic Vega, who used to start in pole, is now dropped all the way back to P9, one way or another. Kovac, on the other hand, might be getting a bit of slipstream in front of Photosysiclu. Keeping the competition close. Going slightly offline. It's going to be all. Andy Darnell's all over Janos Kovac now. Can't really. You just really have to follow each other through the S's like that. You can't really stray off the line on one corner, or else you'll be screwed for the rest of the corners. In the S's, it's a really unique section of track like that. But anyway, we're more than half distance left to go. William McCull's leading, followed by Felice Vittari, and Tobias Thierot hasn't caught up to him yet. He has only won one race, but Kulas certainly isn't going to be coming back for a second race soon. I think we're going to have 3 different race winners for 3 different sprint races, which I think is a really good thing. Andy Darnell's following very, very close behind Kovac. Kovac cannot afford to make any more mistakes, and he's going to get past Photos now. Heavy braking into the third sector. Andy's just touched the gearbox on the back of that 5th place car, Janos Kovac, the Panasonic. Essentially bumper to bumper. I imagine this is going to be a slipstreaming move. He looks on the inside briefly, but he backs out of it. It's a very sensible move. I wouldn't have tried that either. It would have ended in disaster. Sebastian Gunther's gone off again. That's very oh no. Oh! Kulas is on it. Kulas is just. Oh no. Well, what happened there is. Right, so, I'm at a loss for words on how that happened. I don't know why Gunther didn't simply hold the brakes, but we'll look past that. Bottom line is Kulas is missing a wheel and he is now the DNF from the race, unfortunately. There's going to be a lot of stewards action this time round. Little bit of a contact there. Very, very close racing between Andy Darnell, Kovac, and Fotis Isagru at the front, trying to defend all of that. It's a very good race. At least for these three people, but for more than that's only half of the grid is still with us from those who have initially joined us. Gunther's after retiring as well. I don't think taking out Kulas did him any favours. Fotis Isagru, after getting a terrible exit off that, he's racing Andy Darnell off the exit. Side by side, Fotis is going to get the slipstream off of William McCall. No, that's whichever. No, that's Kovac in front. Andy's got the better line and the better grip. He's going to overtake Fotis Isagru on the inside line. Into the S's, there's nothing Fotis can do now but wait until the next overtaking opportunity, try to stay as close as he can to the car in front, maybe try and make a move later on. Vic Vegas, after making a very bad mistake, spinning off into the gravel trap and crashing into the first sector. Yellow flagged out. He needs to overtake safely, nearly overtakes him. He needs to rejoin safer. He nearly went into that Etihad livery buried right there. Andy and Kovac are having a very good race now for P4. Andy Darnell going down the inside. Oh, a bit of contact, bashing wheels. They do it again. They've hit twice now. Just a little bit of inattentiveness and a lack of spatial awareness. It's very lucky that these guys still have chassis that still point in the correct direction. Mamotek is dead. Gone from the wall. Back to Andy there. Kovac has gone with, albeit a small taste of his own medicine. For what he tried to pull on Andy earlier, but Andy's after relinquishing the position, it looks like. Fotis looks looking for a way past. These guys have been at it for 3 laps straight, I believe, maybe 4. The action isn't stopping here, folks, that's for sure. We're at 2 and a bit minutes remaining. By the end of lap 10, it's going to be the final lap. So we're on the second last lap right now, and William McCone's pulling out a substantial lead from Tobias Thielhoff and Felice Vicari. Tobias hasn't gone any much closer to Felice. I would have expected Tobias to get a little bit closer, but the alien finally managed to find his match. At least in PetrolHeads. Of course, Tobias it's obviously notorious for like winning stuff non-stop, at least in our series. But like he appears to have finally found his match. Not just one, just a few. On this occasion, at least. And that's Vic Vega pulling to the side of the track to retire, I believe. It's just bit too many, far too many accidents. He's just pulling over. He's had enough. 13 drivers remain. Going side by side, thinking about it into the heavy braking point, into the chicane with Sector 3, but they single out, they're trying to survive. Final lap. We're still having the battle now for P4 in this third race. Andy Darnell at the back of it. Bottas is a glue in the centre of the sandwich, and then Kovac trying to defend from everything. They have to stay single file into the S's. Not much they can do there. They can't stray offline or else they'll suffer throughout the rest of the corners, I believe. Fast right into sweeping left. Bottas is starting to drop back and is taking Andy Darnell with him, I believe. It looks like. Side by side. Oh no, that's a big accident. Andy saves it from what could have been a very bad accident, but that is a fair bit of contact from him before this is a go. And contact, this race was chock full of it, I should say, as we come to the closing 8 stages of this race, of this event, and my god, the amount of incidents, like, the stewards are going to have a whale of a time with it. I'm one of them. We're just waiting for the the incidents to flood in, but yeah, if you've gone involved in any racing incidents and you feel like that you've been done dirty, please tell us if you've been racing, because we will sort it out appropriately. Some with penalties, some with race bans, some with league bans, blah blah blah. But that's William McCone who takes the win for the third and final round here at Suzuka, with Felice Vicari chasing that podium finish. He finally now has it, with Tobias Tirov completing the podium lineup. Kovac now comes out on top after a very lengthy battle to come out on top in the three-way battle for 4th place. Bottas is to glue in 5th and Darnell in 6th. Amistoy in P7 manages to climb very, very high up. Zicicella in P8 and Argara in P9, with Matti Rain, the Finnish guy, in P10 and Jancic in P11. And on that note, that was an absolutely... Well, it was horrendous in terms of incidents and all that, but I think that was pretty entertaining from a commentator standpoint. There is an overwhelming amount, let's say, of backlash in the championship chat in Discord. If you want to have a look at this situation yourself and read the messages yourself, you can join our Discord following the link in the description, and yeah. And if somehow seeing all these collisions today sways you to join us, then no, you can do that. So anyway, we're gonna have a few. I'd imagine we'll have a few post-race interviews now. But my God, that was abysmal. It was entertaining, but it was absolute. The amount of incidents, like, come on. But I mean, that, in my opinion, that adds to the spectacle. You know, like, you never know what's going to happen. Like, the order's always going to shake up one way or another. I'm not going to sugarcoat this any longer. Let's move on to some post-race interviews. So we've got a bunch of drivers here today. So, all right. So remember, please, if I ever talk to you, please do not go on a rant on why so and so should be banned for what and what, because make a ticket instead. We'll deal with it right now. So, Andy, are you busy?
No, I'm here. That was fun. It's a good workout, if nothing else.
Yeah. So that's so while it's still fresh in our minds, that race 3 showdown for P4, that was some race.
Oh, it was great fun. Yeah, I mean, I didn't leave anything on the table. That's what we base for. Just moments like that. That one will stay in the memory for a while. That was amazing. Great fun.
So I saw a bit of a collision between you and Fotis. Do you think there was in bad blood, or was it intentional?
No, that was just me and Fotis doing what me and Fotis do. We race fair, we raced aggressively, but we try not to take each other off. We had a bit of wheel to wheel contact, but yeah, it was just amazing fun. The main thing is we finished the race and we didn't lose any positions.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you had fun. I know a lot of people didn't, and they're expressing their opinion in the championship chat. So like we will be like, what do you think from a steward standpoint? Like, 'cause do you think? I think personally we should have a look at the incidents ourselves and like not rely on people reporting it, because like this is unacceptable. The amount of collisions that happened, the amount of people got taken out.
Yeah, I mean the stewards are definitely going to be extremely busy. The reason we say if you want something investigated, report it, and we don't look at everything else is because it literally takes 4 or 5 hours to go through the race and look at every single incident. It's incredibly time consuming, so I'll encourage everybody just to post their report, and we'll have a look at it. But yeah, don't do it on the general chat. Just send the stewards a report. It's all part of sim racing. It happens.
And on that note, is there anything else you'd like to mention to everyone else here, Andy?
No, it's been a pretty good start, I think, to the championship. Yes, with 32 players on the grid, there are going to be incidents. The best way to avoid incidents is to qualify near the front, obviously, but if you're in the middle, you just have to be ultra careful. But it's about having fun. It's not about winning, in my opinion. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed it. Thank you everybody that attended.
Thank you for your time, Andy.
My pleasure. Thank you for your commentary. Great as always. No need to keep apologising about the window. We didn't actually hear it.
No, seriously.
Thank you very much.
Alright, thanks. So that was Andy Donnell, the race organizer. A huge props to him for setting everything up. And alright, so we've got a bunch more people in the commentary chats for interviews, I believe. So we'll go in alphabetical order. Arthur, would you like to say something? This is Arthur Groh.
Hey, hello.
Hello, Arthur. So that wasn't the cleanest start to a season you've ever had?
No, not at all. I mean, I don't often have good starts to a season, but this one was outstandingly bad.
Well, yeah, I can agree with you with that. What do you think, it's like, as one of the stewards, like, you have to look at the amount of incidents that's happened here today if people start reporting this, that is. Like, how long do you think we'll be here for?
Yeah, I don't know. We will see. how much will be reported. I don't even expect there to be as many reports. There was a lot of incidents, but that happens sometimes. But doesn't necessarily mean there's equally as much stewarding. So I don't think you have to stay up all night.
I mean, I would, like, if it meant I could help you guys, but anyway, that's not the point. But we'll talk about that later, alright? But
Yeah, of course.
But for the meantime, is there anything else you'd like to mention about your race, or
Yeah, I'm just had a decent, okay qualifying. Top 10 was alright. I hope to be there. Then just had not a good first lap, and on the start of lap 2 I spun out because there was a car off track and I wasn't sure if there's gonna be a rejoin, and I got scared a bit and spun, and from there on it's just so hard to get back through the field, because also with these cars are very not too hard but also challenging to drive, and a lot of drivers and everybody's new to the series. And also I have to admit I'm not very much used to the car, or even braking without ABS was a problem sometimes, because I'm not used to that, I have to admit. And yeah, it was a lot of unfortunate decisions, unfortunate moves and outcomes, but yeah, that's racing. I hope the series will continue on very, very nicely with as much people as today, so not too many were scared away, but yeah, I guess that's it. And thank you for streaming and commentating.
Right, no worries. It's my pleasure. Right, thank you, Arthur, for your time. So that was Arthur Gura. And going in alphabetical order, next is Fotis Isaglu and Bomb Taras, as he is called in Discord. Hello, Fotis.
Hi, Michael.
So, while it's still fresh in our heads, that race in race 3, like you guys fighting over P4 like that, it was really exciting. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was big fun for me. I enjoy it. The third race, it was the one that I enjoyed most. Yeah, it was very fun. I had an unlucky moment with Andy. Before the tunnel in the right-hander, I lost a little bit the car. We was fighting for position. We were side by side. We have a tire touch that made Andy lose a bit of momentum there. But yeah, that's happening when you're racing side by side. Yeah, I explained to Andy and apologized for what happened. All good. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was 3-4 laps. Me, Janos, and Darnell, we overtake each other, if I'm not mistaken. It was nice fun.
All right. So, is there anything else that you'd like to, anything outstanding that you'd like to mention?
I only want to thank you for the commentary. I hope the people that watch the live enjoy it. Thank all of the participants that they take place. Congratulations to the podium winners. Congratulations to everybody that finished the races. Doesn't matter what position. No, nothing else.
Alright, so thank you so much for your time, Fotis.
You're welcome.
Alright, so that was Fotis Isaglu, one of the very prominent midfield runners for today's race 3 in particular. And now we shall move on to Jan Jancic. If you'd like to mention anything, that is. if you're not comfortable saying anything. Then
I did not expect that you would call me. I'm just reading the chat right now. The races were pretty fun, but there were some collisions that miffed me, to say the least. I was quite mad after the first race when Fotis tried to rejoin through the apex of the hairpin. That was kind of what screwed me and really made me mad in the end, but it may be okay in the end. I will try some reports and see how it goes.
yeah, definitely do throw a few reports. Like,
Yeah.
it just help us.
Second race I had a problem in Spoon and I got into a slide, almost caught it, but McCone managed to hit me. He had nowhere to go. That was a bad one. On this last one, the first turn was kind of a disaster, third turn as well, so it was just trying to survive till the end. I lost my relatives for like 6 minutes, so I was flying blind for a little bit. But I finished. I did all I could, so pretty good races. It's too bad that everybody died. Everybody who died feels so bad about this series, and some people already left, so that's gonna leave a sour taste. So we'll see how it goes with the penalties and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We'll figure out something that is appropriate.
Yeah. Thanks for the commentary. It was fun to listen to it when I was driving. I usually lose focus pretty quick when I have nobody to race with, so it was something to keep me going, I think.
I'm glad I was entertaining to someone.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Thank you, Jensen. Right, so that was the end there. So, I suppose next up we'll have. Next up is Sebastian Guther, if you'd like to say anything.
Hello.
Well, Sebastian, you had a very good race one.
Yeah, quali and race one was pretty good, way better than I expected it to be. I got really lucky with William and David Koulas and Ducati spinning out. Race 2 and race 3, yeah, it got gradually worse, and in race 3 I even killed some people, so I'm really sorry for that.
Yeah, that wasn't the best start to the season. Then, like, I mean, you on one hand, it's a duality. On one hand, you've got like you managed to get like a very good podium spot in the first race, but like you ended up killing people at the same time towards the end. But like it seemed like a well balanced weekend compared to others, you know.
Yeah, true. There was some positives and some negatives, but overall, I'm okay with this kind of start to the season, I guess.
Do you think you'll be coming back for the rest of the season? What do you think?
I checked my calendar and I'm free for the next 4 Fridays. Just the 5th one, the very last one, I have to work, but maybe I'll be sick or something.
Very good.
But right, thank you very much for the live stream and the commentary and all the organization today.
Another problem, like, just remember, if there's anything that, if there's any incidents you'd like to report, like, namely, well, I mean, I have a feeling that QLS might report you, but...
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually he said sorry, I said sorry in chat and he was like, no worries. But if he reports me, that's alright, and very, very fair.
Like, if you've had any bad blood with anyone, like if there's any incidents, don't forget about the incident reporting, because if you don't report anything, you won't be able to do anything about it. So do keep an eye on that, yeah?
Alright, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank you.
And last but not least, the man himself, Tobias Tirov.
Hey.
So Tobias, that was a very dominant performance for race 1.
Yeah, race 1 was good. Race 2, I think yeah, if the race would be 30 minutes, I might give David a run for his money. I think I was catching up like a couple of tenths per lap, but it took just too long to get by all the other cars in a somewhat controlled manner. So that 20 minutes for like starting in P10, and I think David started in position 3. There's just not enough time to catch up. Or at least it's really difficult to do that. And race 3 was also a bit tricky for me. I think there was like a collision in turn 1, lap 1, and I ended up with suspension damage right at the beginning, and then I just couldn't really push as much as I wanted to without getting into trouble. I was really screwed up.
I was wondering why you were hardly getting closer.
No, I was not even gaining time. I was in the long run. I think I would have lost even time to Vicavi and Will.
Yeah, like you did very well. Like, okay, considering suspension damage, you did very well to get that podium in the end.
Yeah, there are like a couple of drivers that are, let's say, a bit faster than the rest. I would say like 4 or 5 people. So I managed to get by all the others, let's say, but like all the ones that were running low 206s during race or even 205s, there was no way that I could catch them with the car being damaged. That was just too much to ask. But it was still fun. It was really good. I mean, I have to watch the recording of the live stream, because race 1 I was basically driving on my own. I didn't really notice any crashes or what happened in race 1. I just saw William disappearing from the relative at some point, and and some stuff, but I didn't really see it. Race 2 was different, and race 3 was the most chaotic from my perspective, at least. But it was still good, and it's part of racing. So yeah, everyone should report it, but no one should be mad about it. Next time, maybe they get lucky and get a decent position because the opponents are crashing out, whatever. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that really is what it is at the end of the day. It's what happens in racing. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. I mean, every time it happens, it kind of is bad in this situation, but without having this, it would be just boring. At least to some extent. I mean, I don't think, at least what I saw, no one was like carelessly wrecking people, which is bad and should happen. And sometimes if you try to go for a move that is a bit risky, sometimes it works and you gain a spot. Sometimes, the result is an incident. And yeah, if we wouldn't try to go for an overtake, I mean, then it would be just like 30 cars driving in circles, and that's boring.
Yeah, that's right. So, anyway, thank you so much for Tobias. Is there anything else you'd like to mention to the guys at home on the live stream or anyone in VC?
Yeah. Thanks for commentating, and I hope everyone that participated today will show up for the next ones. So it's always fun to have a full packed grid with 30 drivers. And for me, it was a blast. I hope it remains like this. That was really fantastic.
All right, so thank you so much for your time, Tobias.
Thank you.
So I suppose this is usually where I give my end of stream speech, or like I don't know. Every stream I keep calling it something different. I don't know, but I suppose that this time I'm calling it a debrief. So work with me here. I know that this was a very chaotic opening to this round, and I can get like a bunch of people have made it clear, like at least 2 have already left the series because they don't want to pull up with the amount of wrecking that happened today and the next round. For goodness sake, I think. But well, that's perfectly understandable. But there's really nothing to worry about. I mean, that's just racing. These cars are inherently fragile, and they require people to be more careful to race them properly. It's just. I mean, it was more chaotic than usual, more than it had to be. But I think it served to be an incredible show. I would have hated to have driven here today, but it was damn fun to commentate. Must have been. Alright, boys, thank you so much for watching. Please tune in for race 2 next week on Friday.